What's up, everyone? This is the Next Tape Podcast, episode 73 with Mikel, and
Tanyka.
where we have conversations on different topics. So we're doing a 3-topic episode for this week's episode. And today we're going to do that. So what are the topics going to be today, Tanyka?
Okay, so we're going to be talking about the Ontario mortgage payments are on the rise, apparently. We're going to be talking about some veggie puffs containing lead. So for those people who like to eat veggie puffs, that's for you. And then we're going to be talking about 28 people being trapped on an amusement park ride. I think that was the Canada's Wonderland one, but we'll figure that out when I get there, okay?
Right. Okay.
Okay. And just a disclaimer, I'm sick.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Things have been going around here at least in Ontario. I can't speak on anywhere else, but
yeah.
This is the second time this month that well, technically January, but second time this year, we'll say that I've been sick. So I'm not happy.
I can imagine. I know how that goes. So
yeah. And I mean, I got over the first one so easily. And then the second one
hit you.
It hit me hard.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't sure if I had COVID or anything, but I tested. I didn't. Because I was having like fever and like low energy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was horrible. But anyways, enough about me.
Okay.
Let's get to it. So, an Ontario mother said her mortgage payments are about to actually double. Yay. Translating to more than $2,000 extra per month if interest rates don't dip. And it's harder than anything she's ever faced. I can only imagine. So you're asking for $2,100 to just be pulled out of the sky and still afford all of my kids' medical needs.
Right.
And this is said by Shauna Wood, who is a 40-year-old mother of 8 children. That's a lot of kids, ma'am.
Yeah,
that's too many kids, ma'am.
Yeah.
8? What are you trying to achieve? A Jackson 5? What the hell? Okay, sorry. Half of whom have health challenges. That's unfortunate. After renting a house in Oro Medonte, I don't know if that's how you say it, but anyways, for a decade, the family of 10 bought the 5-bedroom house about 2 hours north of Toronto for $800,000 in 2021. At the time, they locked in at a 3.2% fixed rate for 3 years. Like many Canadians, Wood secured historically low interest rates during the COVID-19 pandemic. But at the end of the month, her mortgage is up for renewal, which means she'll be watching the Bank of Canada's interest rate announcement like a hawk, which I think already came out. I think. But I can't remember if they were, I think they were, the interest rates were like really low this year, if I remember correctly. So hopefully that helps with her mortgage payments. But I do remember hearing that they're actually like an all-time low this year, if I remember correctly.
Right.
Anyway, she said the bank offered her a 7.1% renewal rate, which would translate to a leap from $3,000 to $5,100 per month for mortgage payments. She said, quote, "It makes you sick. We work so hard to be the first-time homeowners." Her husband has increased his workload from 50 to 70 hours a week. So that means more time out of the home.
Mhm.
Um, in anticipation of the impending interest rate announcement, was that she and her husband explored leaving the province, selling the house and refinancing it. Which, I mean, I don't know if other provinces or interest rates are better than Ontario is. I'm
Um,
not sure.
Let me check that. Go ahead.
Okay. Um, I'm praying it's a decrease and not another hold, she said in reference to the Bank of Canada's decision to keep its key interest rate steady at 5% in April.
Mhm.
Um, sorry. I just keep praying and praying and praying it comes down even just 0.25%. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're looking at the large mortgages that people have, it really makes a difference for of a few $100s. I mean, every little bit counts.
Mm.
At a rural home in Cameron, just north of Lindsay, Ontario, Weather Hill and her husband are 9 years into their 10-year fixed rate. Their current rate is at 3.06%, which won't happen again. That's like incredible. Weatherhill admitted, but she's hoping the interest rates drop even a little. A little drop would help, she said. So just a little bit would be great, she says.
Mhm.
Um, much has changed in the 65-year-old's life in the last decade. She retired as a nurse in November. So with that being you're on a fixed rate or a fixed income if she has like pension or anything.
Mhm.
Um, and her husband's salary as a commercial insurance broker was recently sliced in half while he's at home on dialysis waiting for a kidney transplant. It's stressful, she said. And then when you have the money issues on top of that, it's stressful. The anxiety surrounding mortgage payments appears to be broadly felt. Like Wood and Wetherill, about a quarter of respondents to a Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation survey expressed worry about their ability to make their monthly mortgage payments. Of the 50 mortgage brokers CTV News contacted for advice, the five based in Toronto unanimously agreed a fixed mortgage was the safest route.
Hmm.
The predictability of a fixed rate outweighs the potential of variable rates dropping. Toronto mortgage broker Marlon Valencia said, only
Mhm.
when the client can accept risk and has a strong fallback, that's when I would recommend a variable term. However, Valencia said that doesn't mean an individual with variable mortgage should get out of it unless they absolutely cannot afford their monthly payments. Many variable rates allow you to fix your rate for free as long as you extend your term. It would be a shame to have them fix it right near the end of the higher rate environment. If they can, I would wait. So for what these questions, she goes, actually, hold on, we'll skip that. Um, let's see what else. But yeah, that's basically that. I do believe, like I said, that the rate
Mhm.
um was at an all-time low
Mhm.
this year. Um,
Yes, it's been an all-time low this year so far.
yeah.
Uh, I haven't found, any of the mortgage rates in all provinces. So like,
Mhm.
I don't see anything. I might be looking on the wrong sources, but yeah, I haven't found anything.
Okay. Well,
So
that's okay. I mean, hopefully they didn't have to move provinces or anything. So,
yeah.
okay. So let's move on.
Mhm.
We're going to talk lead. Some veggie puffs made by Lesser Evil, which, what? And
Mhm.
Serenity Kids contain concerning levels of lead, which, oop, my computer's falling, which is a heavy metal linked to developmental and other disabilities in children, which we've talked about
Mhm.
before. Parents may see veggie puffs marketed as a healthy alternative to
Mhm.
sugar laden snacks as a way to make foods like beets, carrots, potatoes, and tomatoes palatable for kids.
Mm.
But certain um, cassava based brands,
Cassava.
I don't know,
Mm.
um, have excessive amounts of lead or other heavy metals, making even a single serving unhealthy in the case of one product, the advocacy group cautioned.
Mm.
Troublesome levels of lead were found in both lesser evil puff products tested and one from Serenity Kids, Consumer Reports found.
Mm.
Lesser evils, which, first of all, that name, I mean, come on. Lesser evil. Lesser evil's Lil Puff's intergalactic Voyager veggie blend um, had more lead per serving than any of the 80 baby foods the watchdog has tested since 2017. We think kids should consume less than half a serving a day of those. James E. Rogers, head of food safety testing at Consumer Reports, said in a statement. As for the other two puff products that showed high lead levels, Lesser Evil's Little Puff sweet potato apple asteroid and Serenity Kids tomato and herb bone broth puffs.
Mm.
Consumer Reports advises limiting consumption to 1.5 servings a day. How about none? Because there's lead in it.
Yeah.
Um,
Can you explain the viewers what lead is, or like, or give it a
it's the
short?
heavy metal that
Mhm.
can um kind of mess up with like I think it's the cognitive, so like different things, and it can also have other issues
Mhm.
with kids as well as women with fertility issues. We kind of talked about this with the Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
Um, it can have issues with fertility, people with women with fertility, pregnant women as well, children. So it can have like just adverse effects if you're having too much lead, which is
Mhm.
why you were always told don't eat like pencils
Mm. Yeah.
because it's lead. Duh. So, um, so puffs and other snacks made with rice can be high in, yeah, let me start that over. Puffs and other snacks made with rice can be high in arsenic. Y'all, if you smell almonds, don't eat it.
Mhm.
If there shouldn't be an almond, don't eat it because it's most likely arsenic. What the hell? Prior tests by Consumer Reports have found, so God, that prompted some manufacturers to use other starches such as the root cassava or sorghum, which is a gluten-free grain. Consumer Reports found very low levels of lead in two sorghum-based products from Once Upon a Farm, a company co-founded by actress Jennifer Garner. Okay, yeah, that's why it sounds familiar.
Mhm.
Um, the company's snacks also yielded some of the lowest lead levels of all the baby foods tested by Consumer Reports. Quote, clearly some manufacturers need to do a better job of keeping heavy metals out of their snack foods. Agreed. And there may be some particular concerns about foods made with cassava. Mar Macarena? Is that supposed to say Macarena? Sure looks like it. So we're going to call you that. Macarena Rizzo, a mother of two, who has given veggie puffs to her 15-month-old daughter, expressed concern about the findings. Very disappointed because I thought that I was making a good choice or like a smart choice and seems
Mhm.
like it's not. She told CBS News, senior consumer investigative correspondent Anna Werner. Um, Parents who have given their children cassava puffs shouldn't panic, but instead be cognizant that the amounts found by Consumer Reports could over time raise the risk of developmental problems such as a lower IQ, ADHD, and autism. Quote, you have to account for the fact that small amounts of lead can add up and that children may be exposed to some lead in drinking water or their environment. That's why foods with more lead should be should be where am I? Should be in small amounts of lead can add up, but children may be exposed to some lead in drinking water. Remember, that's why foods with more lead should be minimized in a child's diet. I feel like should just be just excluded. That's
Yeah.
just me.
Yeah. I agree.
Um, yeah. Lesser Evil said that all of its products adhere to regulatory requirements. Lesser Evil was built on a mission to create better, cleaner, more natural products than the highly processed and refined snacks that overtook grocery store shelves for years. Again, you have lead in your food, but that's okay, I guess. The company's products quote all meet GRAS, GRAS, which stands for Generally Recognized as Safe Standards and Federal Regulations for Organic Products. Lesser Evil stated, adding that we conduct extensive testing for all Lesser Evil products that complies with California Prop 65 and federal standards. That said, Lesser Evil is phasing out the use of cassava flour in its Little Puffs line of products, saying it was dismissed by the recent news. Oh, sorry, dismayed by the recent news. What? You're trying to say you don't know what's in your products?
Yeah. That's
Come
weird.
on. That some of its products contained concerning levels of lead. Um, sorry, hold on. Sammy Rosnov, Chief of Operations at Corner Market Communications, which represents Lesser Evil, told Consumer Reports that lead occurs in nature due to years of pollution and contamination in our water. And so, wait, then how is that nature? That's not nature. That's us fucking up the nature. So what? That just again goes to show this is not a natural product and or natural. I mean, I guess technically it's a natural mineral. I guess it's lead. It's in the periodic table, but it's what he's just said is not doesn't make sense. Anyways, Serenity Kids also defended the company's products, including its testing and quality assurance practices, saying, quote, our puffs are and have always been safe for consumption. All of our products test well below the maximum allowable dose levels established by California Proposition 65. We have always addressed lead and all heavy metals head on because we are confident in the safety of our products and ingredients, and because we believe that our products are healthier than the alternatives that exist today. Okay? I mean, I'd rather eat like a shit ton of sugar than lead.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
So,
I agree. Yeah.
um, in a statement, Once Upon a Farm also noted that heavy metals occur naturally in the environment, making them virtually impossible to avoid. Our standard is to minimize their presence to consumable levels in all of our products.
hmm
Once Upon a Farm said it also seeks to reduce heavy metals in its products by using organic ingredients from global regions that have taken steps to lower risks and by testing the materials most likely to contain metals. Emily Luna, baby brand manager at Once Upon a Farm, also said the company chose sorghum for its puffs in part because it's less likely to contain heavy metals than rice or cassava.
hmm
The findings follow the release of separate results in April, in which Consumer Reports found that Lunchables, another popular food product for kids, which if you're a kid in the 90s, you had a Lunchable. I did not. Um, contains troublesome levels of lead and sodium. So I think my mom was on the right track. So by not letting me have a Lunchable. So
Yeah.
anyway, um, the classification of foods should be based on scientific evidence that includes an assessment of the nutritional value of the whole product, not restricted to one element, such as a single ingredient or the level of processing, a spokesperson for Kraft Heinz said in defending the 35-year-old brand. A government report in 2021 found that baby food made by several of the nation's biggest manufacturers had significant levels of substances, including lead, arsenic, I can't get over that. Cadmium, and mercury, which mercury isn't as unheard of. You can eat mercury in low levels.
Mhm.
Um, but obviously you can't in
Mer
high levels.
Mercury. What's
Yeah.
mercury?
You don't know it's a heavy metal?
Oh, okay. So it's
Not the planet.
oh, I thought that's what I thought you meant that
No,
basically.
no, mercury, the heavy metal, not
The
Mercury,
metal.
the planet.
Yeah.
Um, Mercury is usually found in like canned fish, tuna, salmon. So that's but you can also I think any canned fish, mercury can be high. But you can eat that in moderation, but like you can't eat that like constantly. Like if you're gonna have it, say like within a month, maybe you can only eat that like twice in a month. So you're not exposing yourself to high levels of mercury. Um, uh, so yeah, prompting the FDA to propose limits to on arsenic. Again, I can't get over that. Lead and mercury in baby food. I mean, people use arsenic. So wait. Hold on. If I was a kind of person who wanted to kill somebody,
Hmm.
I could just find a food product with high levels of arsenic and make them eat that.
Mm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I'm not doing that. Just for the record, no. But I'm just trying to say, like, what? That's insane. Anyway, um, so let's go to the whole ride situation in the 28 people, which I remember hearing about when it happened,
Mhm.
but I was like, ah, whatever, it's fine. I didn't realize how crazy it was. Um, so
What's the ride? What's the ride based on the 28 people? Is it like it's not a circus, but like is it like a fair or is it?
no, this particular ride, I guess, seats 28 people.
Mhm.
I don't know where
Okay.
we're gonna get into it.
Okay.
So on June 14th, so this was on June 14th, 28 passengers were riding Portland Oaks Amusement Park's Atmosphere, fear spelled FEAR,
Mhm.
um, at around 2:55 p.m. when the ride stopped in its place, suspending them all upside down in its apex position. The park said in a statement shared to X, Twitter, Jesus Christ. According to the amusement park, the ride operator working on Atmosphere, which can operate on either a 180 or 360-degree setting,
Mhm.
as it sends its riders flipping through the air on a loop, called 911 and began initiating emergency procedures. First responders, including Portland Fire and Rescue, arrived on the scene around 3:20 p.m. So they're upside down for like an hour by the
Mhm.
time people show up. Within minutes, all of the riders were taken off the ride and safely returned to the ground. So they were suspended, though, in the air for an hour. I would be freaking out. I would be freaking out
Yeah,
after 10 minutes, mind
that's
you.
crazy.
Um,
Was it safe or anything like that, or was it just like?
um, I'm trying to remember what was being said back then.
Mhm.
Um, because I was kind of hearing about it as it was happening. And I think they were worried about people like passing out because like their brain like the blood rushing to their brains, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So I think people were like they were worried that that could happen. Um like it took them like I don't think it took a long time for the fire people or whatever to show up, but it took a while for them to even get to that freaking point to
Mhm.
actually like call somebody and be like, help.
Mhm.
So yeah, they're suspended like that for an hour thinking like I don't know if they thought it would just start working on its own,
Mhm.
but you're suspended upside down like that for an hour.
Mm.
No, thank you. Like, I don't think so. Hold on. Okay. So We wish to express our deepest appreciation to the first responders and our staff for taking prompt action. Prompt. They were there for an hour. Okay.
Mm. Mhm.
Um, Leading to a positive outcome today, and to the rest of the park guests who swiftly followed directions to vacate the park to make way for the emergency responders to attend the situation. And as what park officials wrote in the statement. Most of all, we are thankful that the riders are safe and with their families. Please don't sue us, is probably what they're saying. Park visitor Daniel Allen told local ABC affiliate station K2 that the experience stunned him so much that he began to cry when he finally touched the ground. I'd be crying too.
Mhm.
Saying, I was crying, not of joy, not of anything. I was just crying.
Mhm.
I was more happy. I was alive. I don't think I've ever appreciated my life more. This is really an acknowledgement moment for me. Fellow Atmosphere writer Jordan Harding also told the outlet that although she did not suffer any medical issues from being stuck upside down, the entire experience was uncomfortable. My entire waist below was asleep. A fellow writer told me he was like, you have to hold your legs back. It was so hard. It was so bad. So that's the other thing. Like their legs are just like dangling, you
Mhm.
know? Um, So there's this like woman firefighter and she's like tiny and she's like, "Oh, I got you." Harding continued describing her rescuer. I'm like, "Are you sure?" And she literally like picked me up and I was just so overwhelmed and everything. I gave her like the biggest hug.
Wow.
I mean, just because we're small and we're also mighty. Come on. Um, Hold on. Okay. One rider who had pre-existing health conditions prior to the incident was transported to a local hospital as a precaution, the park said. All other riders were assessed by first responders and given the go-ahead to go home. According to a Facebook post shared by Portland Fire on Saturday, June 15th, rescue teams had previously trained for this scenario, and the amusement park added in its statement that the team had even been trained to respond to an emergency on this exact ride. That's interesting. Fire,
Yeah.
yeah, firefighters have pre-planned this scenario and we're en route to the site ready to deploy to put our plan into action. The fire department wrote in the post, it may have taken a few minutes longer to return everyone to the ground, but we are ready for this and many other unique emergencies.
Mhm.
We leave nothing to chance as we pre plan and train on what could happen before it actually happens. According to the park, Atmosphere first opened in 2021 and has operated without incident until that day, which was also the park's first day of operation for the 2024 summer season. Yike. Oaks Park told K2 that it would initiate an investigation with the help of the ride's manufacturer and state inspectors in an attempt to figure out what caused the ride to stop. I don't know if they ever did, but do your research if you are going here.
Yeah.
The park closed for the day soon after the incident, and officials added, and Oak's website states that the attraction will be closed until further notice. So, I don't know if they're open back up or what. But yeah, now I'm done.
Well, hopefully, we'll get an update in the near future on that, about the ride. But yeah,
Yeah, we'll see.
yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
this ends this episode, uh, episode 73 of the Next Tape Podcast. The Next Tape Podcast is available now on all podcast platforms. We also have a website called
Wait, next, dang it, next tape podcast.podpage.io.
and where else are we at, Tanika?
Facebook and Instagram at Next Take Podcast, and Twitter and TikTok at Next Take Pod.
Yeah. You can contact us in our email at mikeltanika@gmail.com and mikeltanika@gmail.com. So we talked about three topics on this episode.
Mm.
Three pretty good topics. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. So I am Mikel, and
I'm Tanyka.
we are out until
Thursday.
Thursday. All right. See you guys then.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.